What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Go With The Flow. I know it's been really a couple of months. I want to introduce another special guest. Not just kidding. She's been on here, you guys. This is my mom. Welcome back, Mom.
Hi.
How do you feel?
I feel nervous. This makes me really nervous.
She's all been here already a first time. She's nervous still.
This is barely my second time.
Yeah, Mom, but this is your second.
I
So
know.
you have to
I'm not a pro yet.
Mom,
I need to practice.
you're a professional. They love you. By the way, you guys, our last episode, I'll get into what the episode is really going to be centered around, what we're going to talk about, and just give you guys a little bit of a life update before. So whoever who has been following me on social media, on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, as you guys know, I am going to college, so that's kind of the main reason why I haven't been uploading, and just been dealing with school is just stressful. And for those of you who are in school, know that it's not 100% easy. Like, it's very stressful, but it's a stress that it will get you far in life for sure. So I do encourage that. Also, another update I wanted to give you guys is we're about to hit a 1-year anniversary in February of next year for our podcast. So yeah, everybody comment down below. Let's see, another update. Do you have any other updates do you think that we should cover that like we haven't said since we last recorded?
Just that it's really hard. It's a job. This podcast, it's literally a job, and it takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, for sure. And when I first started social media, I thought that this was going to be easy, but let me tell you, y'all, it's not easy, but it's not hard, and you can do it. And if I can do it, you can do it.
Yes.
Also, and also I wanted to say another thing too, that we're almost hitting 500. So that shows that there's something in the works. You know, there's something that's moving, and I know it may be moving slow, but at the end of the day, things are moving for you, and so you have to have some gratitude for that.
Yes, and like he said, it's not easy, guys. At the beginning, when I would see him recording or doing vlogs or stuff like that, I would be like, what are you doing up so late? Go to sleep. And he was probably editing or something. And now that it's been a while that he's been doing this, now I understand a lot. I don't get onto him about going to sleep early because I understand the hard work and dedication that it takes. And let me tell you guys, it's hard.
Yeah.
Especially when you are trying to balance work, school, and on top of this.
And just like your personal life too.
Yeah. It's
like your mental health, you have to worry about your mental health. That's like the biggest thing that you have to focus on, especially when you're doing social media. Because that's what people see. You know, it's not the content, it's really how you carry yourself, and then how you move into that content is like what the outcome will be. Like, if you're not in a good headspace, your content will come out, but it's going to be probably like choppy, or it's going to be a little like, you know, you can tell when someone's not good. So that's why I always want to make sure that I'm vulnerable and I'm authentic as much as I could be, but at the same time, I will let you guys know that sometimes I just can't record because specific things that are private, and that's just how I am. And whoever loves me will love me, you know, no matter what.
And I just want to thank everybody.
Yeah, we want to, me and my mom,
sticking it out with him, and keep on going.
Yes. Also, before we get started into this episode, I know you guys wanted to start the episode already, but one of my friends, her name is Lily's Florist. She is a florist here in Wasco. She gifted me this little cute flower bouquet. It's so cute. If you guys want to see it up close, zoom in, or you guys can check it out on my Instagram. It's Eddie661. Also, mine and my mom's socials will be in the description below. So, without further ado, let's get started into this podcast episode. I really want to talk about grief, around the holidays. So, first off, we've all. Ooh,
That was a firework.
firework. So we've all dealt with grief, and grief is something that is it's a universal feeling. It's a feeling that it could come with heartbreak. It could come with losing a loved one. It could come with many things. A veces you don't think you're going through a grief moment, but sometimes you are, and sometimes it may be a week, sometimes it may be months, and sometimes it may be years. Like it just never leaves you.
And there's no right or wrong how to mourn.
Yes.
We all have our times, our moments,
Mm-hmm.
some more than others, and
Yeah.
like nobody should be judging no one on
Exactly.
that. And we just want to let you guys know that, it takes up time and sometimes it takes longer,
Yeah.
and you can seek like some
Professional
professional
help.
help. And like we suggest you do,
Yeah.
because it's going to help everybody.
Yeah. And really talking about grief now, have some of you felt this like feeling when it comes to like Thanksgiving, when it comes to Christmas, that like you start getting this like weird feeling about life feeling like it's moving so quick, and then by the time you know it, you're like, you look around and you're like, oh, like where are the loved ones that I want to be here to experience these certain holidays with me? And the truth is, I feel like we all have those moments. So I
Yeah.
wanted to ask personally my mom, like, what do you feel like when holidays are approaching, and in specific, like, what is the grief you deal with? What is the grief that you deal with, like,
Is
of who is it? I know we talked about Eric, so I want to tap into more of that.
Come here.
Like, what is it? Do you still feel that grief from like years already passed by?
Yes, it's a big emptiness. Like, yeah, you have to keep on living and keep on your daily routine and all that stuff, but there's this big emptiness
Mm-hmm.
in your heart that you feel, that you just wonder and think like, how would life be with that person there,
Yeah.
and how you would want them there, with you, enjoying the nice times that you have together, and how life would be so different if that loved one would be here. It's just, something that we all can relate, because
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's lost a loved one.
Yes.
And how to deal with this, just something, you think about, and you just have to keep on going, just,
Yeah. For sure.
if you have to cry, if you have to,
Go on walks.
walks, and you have to, yell, and sometimes we don't even know how to deal with it, but
And that's what I want to get into another thing. Like with that, like when you don't know what to do with your grief, sometimes it could get ugly. And for many people, that can also lead to suicide. And that's why I think it's so important to have a support system. A support system when you're dealing with any type of grief. I know for a fact that if me and my mom and my dad and my sister, we didn't have each other and we were dealing with the things that we've gone through and the things that we are still going through, I know that it would be really ugly, And I was talking to Dad yesterday how, how we're going through like different things about life and stuff like that, and how sometimes we don't realize like who we have around us, and that they're actually like helping us sometimes. Like you and Dad, like you guys help me so much that I'm just like so grateful, And that's why we need to have gratitude with Marley. And that's when we need to have gratitude with who we have around us and who is still with us.
Come here, baby. Come here.
You know?
Come
Marley,
here.
come here.
Come here, Marley.
No, it's okay. Another topic I wanted to touch onto is identifying the stages of grief. I don't know if you knew, Mom, that there's stages of grief. Did you know that?
Yeah, but I don't remember like exactly. But yeah,
And so
I've
I did
heard
my
about
research on stages of grief, and I want to. This is a more of. I want you guys to learn that you know grief does have many attributes to it, not just grief itself. And some of the stages of grief are. Sorry.
You're getting distracted with
I
Marley.
know, my dogs are so cute. So I want to start with
My baby.
grief often follows stages of denial. It's anger, depression, and acceptance. So I want to get into the denial phase of grief. Sometimes when you're going through grief, you like choose to pretend like this can't happen to me or this is not real. Or for instance, when it comes to a heartbreak, how could he do that to me? The truth is it's happening and it happened. And that's why I'm saying acceptance is the biggest thing in grief. You have to learn to accept what is and what is in front of you sometimes, as much as we don't want to. And honestly, recognizing these feelings, it's okay to have them. Why? Because we're human. So, what is your take on like all that? What do you think about what I said?
Well, those are important things that it's like when your loved one passed away, like you just wanna like find like somebody to blame. I guess that's just part of grief.
The grieving, yeah.
Like you ask God, like why, and it shouldn't be like that. You should be understanding and
Yeah.
But I guess that's part of the stages that we go through.
And ultimately, like, honestly, guys, it's just something that's a part of life.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that sometimes because it's like, wow, we're like accepting it. But it's not that we're normalizing it, it's that así es. You know, there's certain things in life that are just gonna be the way they are. And you just have to come to a degree with it, and you have to learn to accept a lot of things that don't go your way sometimes. Because I heard this quote on TikTok. I don't know who it was by. I know someone said it one time. But sometimes your rejection is a redirection. So I heard that
Makes sense.
like the other day, and this is not nothing to do with grief now. It ties into it, but I want to give you guys an example. For instance, like I've applied to so many jobs in this past year, you know, and I know that a part of me should be like, you know, it's okay, I will get it. But the truth is, like, I get discouraged by all these rejections.
Yeah.
And it's our job to not let these rejections define who we are. Like I said, a rejection is just a redirection. And sometimes that redirection can lead you to something even greater and you won't even know it. So I'm really having gratitude in that right now in my lifetime right now. I'm really learning about just teniendo paciencia and having and enjoying the time that I have with my family, you know. So that's something that I've been really thinking about. I also wanted to tap into another big important thing is when you're grieving, self-care is something that you lose while you're grieving. Like, for instance, like when you're grieving, you lose track of your self-care. Like you lose everything of yourself. All right, guys, so we're back. We went on a little break. There was like fireworks and police sirens in the background. Era un desmadre. I was like, oh my God. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. Self-care and grief. Like, yeah, like I was saying, we lose ourselves whenever we're grieving. We tend to lose like the hygiene. We tend to lose so much of ourselves, our mental health, just a little bit like that. And I want to talk to my mom about that because I know she dealt with it firsthand with my baby brother Eric. If you guys haven't watched the episode, it's the first episode with my mom I made with her. It was on Mother's Day. So go ahead and check that video out. It's in the link below in the videos. So yeah, I want to ask you like self-care and grief, like how was that for you? Like did you deal with that, like losing sense of self-care when you went through the loss of baby Eric?
Yeah, not wanting to do nothing for a while. But what kept me going, it's you guys. Because, you guys, even though he was not here with us no more, we had to keep on going, and we had to, go on with our daily lives. One thing that I do regret not doing is putting you guys through therapy, because me kind of being selfish and grieving with my own
Loss.
loss, like, I was not focused right
Yeah.
and thinking like, wait a minute,
My
all of
kids.
us all
Yeah.
of us are grieving, and
Yeah.
that I feel like that affected you guys emotionally also. And
That's true.
like you carry that as a young child, which
Yeah.
you shouldn't. Like you should have professional help, and take your kids to professional help, because we get so caught up in our our heartache that we don't pay attention to our little ones, and it kind of, you carry that on as you grow older, and it's kind of like like a pain that we feel, and you have to talk about it with somebody.
Yeah.
And I never did that, and that's one thing that I do regret, not seeking help for you guys.
Well, I will say this, like though, like what my mom is saying. I definitely feel what she's saying, but also too, we didn't have like the best resources too.
Yeah.
Like we didn't grow up poor, we didn't grow up rich, but I will say that we didn't grow up
I
on.
I think it's like a Hispanic thing.
Yeah.
Like where you're just like tough it out.
Yeah.
That's how we're raised. We tough it out. We don't talk about things, our emotions, and
Yeah.
that's something that we do have to talk about.
Yes.
Anybody, doesn't matter
Especially
what
to all the
age.
moms and all the parents out there that are watching this, and talk to your kids, like talk to them.
Seek for professional help.
Like you rather your kids like confide in someone out there that can potentially be giving them wrong information
Yeah.
than your parents, Like the only thing I think now that I'm older, like the only thing I want from my parents is their support, their love, and just their affection. Like that's all I want.
And we've given them love and support, as the time has gone by. But I feel like them talking to someone professional about grief, it's very important. And we're like, we didn't have that, so they should be okay, But honestly, I do recommend with anybody that loses a loved one to seek professional help, or get together as a family and talk about the problem, because
Yeah.
that's something we never did.
Yeah, and now we do it.
We always say, oh, well, your brother's with Diosito, when you
Yeah.
guys were young, and that was it.
Yeah.
That's all we were saying.
That's so funny now that I think about it now. But honestly, I know my mom knows that I was like depressed over baby,
Yeah.
over our baby brother.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're a kid though, depression looks different because depression is different at every age.
Yeah.
Like when you're a kid, depression may look like disassociation. Like I'm pretty sure there were moments where I would just like stare off or just wander off and want to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
I feel like that was kind of a sign of like low-key depression. But you know, we guys never would see things like that, and it's because
Yeah.
things weren't discussed as the
Yeah.
way they are now. Back then, mind you, this was 2000, the early 2000s, and so yeah, that's why I always tell like whenever my mom does say stuff like that, like I never want her to feel like she let us down, because I always tell my parents like they did what they could with what they had, and honestly, like I wouldn't trade the world for anybody else, any other of my parents.
Thank you.
Are you gonna cry?
No, I'm very proud of you.
Me too.
You've came a long ways, and
There's still more to be done.
yes.
There's still a lot to
And you've been,
change.
like, even if it's just one person that you've changed, their way of thinking, or anything that can help somebody out there,
Yeah.
you're really
And like I
doing
feel
it.
like
Yeah.
people know who I am because of like how I speak and how I share like my love. I feel like I share my love with everything. You know how when I was younger, like I've always been like a lovey-dovey, like affectionate person, and I've always been like that with everything and everybody. Like siempre doy amor.
Yeah. You have a
And we
big
live in this
heart.
world where you give love, and there's people out there that don't know how to receive it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that a lot of people have. And that's not a bad thing, but it could be bad when you're in a relationship, like you're in a one-sided thing. Like for me personally, I've been through that, and I know how it feels to not have love given back. And when you're a person that like just gives love naturally, it feels like weird. It feels like not good. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
So that's why me as a person in this era, in this generation, in this lifetime that I'm living in, I want to make it my mission to inspire others, to help others with just a simple conversation. Like that's the main reason why I do social media. I have many purposes of what I want for my social media journey. Like I want to give back. I want to give back to people that need, But in order to do that, I need to meet certain levels in social media, of course. But that comes with time. But my ultimate goal is just to help you guys and everybody who's watching me. I want you guys to watch my podcast with open minds and really dig deep into what I'm saying when I'm talking about educational things, or when I'm talking about like little messages here and there, because there's always something for everybody in my episodes. Like I don't leave nobody out. I don't stick to any agenda or any margin. Like my podcast is for everyone, and everyone included. But yeah. So I want to talk about another thing. Last trait of grief. The grieving part, once that's done, you will know when you're done grieving. I feel like when the moment you're able to like breathe again, when you're finally able to like look at things and just be like, oh, that reminds me of my son, but I could still move on. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there in a little hole and be sad and depressed. I feel like that's when you reach that moment of like, oh, you're allowing the joy to come back into your soul again. And I think that's the beautiful thing about life, is that the truth is time does heal.
Yeah.
And surrounding yourself with good people helps you heal faster as well. So I want to just really give any words of encouragement to people out there that are grieving right now, especially during the holidays. I want to give my condolences to anyone who is watching my episode that has lost a loved one, that is in a heartbreak right now. Anyone that is going through a super dark, deep moment, I want you to know that me and my mom and my family, we're here for you guys. And we're sending everybody love across the screen. And just keep on pushing. Like, Don't surround yourself with negative people, because you're already in a negative position. Imagine if you surround yourself with someone that's negative, you're just gonna dig yourself into a hole and bury yourself, honestly. So I want to touch on this last point with my mom, is allowing joy. So losing Eric and all of that, what happened, when do you think you found the moment of joy again? Like, when did you find that moment for you?
To be honest, when I don't think you ever put it behind you. I think like just a few moments that, like the happy moments that we spent together,
Yeah.
that memory that we have. I think that's like he lived a good life with us, even though if it was
Yeah.
a short period of time. Like that just, keeps me going, where I'm grateful for, that God let us meet him and be there with him, his last moments. Just having that memory
Yeah.
of him and
Cherishing that.
cherishing that, you know, that's, the joy that I have.
Yeah. And also now, like, just waiting to see, like, what your kids are gonna be like. I feel like too, like, if I look at you from a mother perspective, like, if I was a mom, I would be like, I just can't wait to see my kids, what they become.
Yeah.
What they grow into and what they choose, and
Well,
ultimately
I
just to be
already
happy.
feel very proud of you guys, even though you guys are still on the, path of, getting to where you guys want
established.
to.
Yeah.
You guys, you guys are turning out pretty good.
She's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, y'all motherfuckers better. She's
Más
like,
le
¿por
vas,
qué no?
más te vale.
Más vale que te pasigues. You know. But yeah, so that's really it for this episode, you guys. I want to thank everybody who took the time to watch this episode fully. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We're almost to 500, so spread the word. Let's get to 500 by December 31st.
And don't forget to say condolences to anybody out there that's going through grieving right now.
Yes, especially during this time, you guys, it's very important to be kind to one another, because
yes,
you don't know, uno se está llevando la chingada right now. Like, they're really bad.
Yes, you just never know.
You just never know.
There's always somebody out there, and even if it's just a text, a hi, a check up on your loved ones.
Yeah.
You just never know when it's our last day to be here in this world.
Yes. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much once again, Mom.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. See you guys on the next episode.
Bye.